All right. I guess it's time for another ridiculously long and possibly crappy movie review. But here we go. Movie review. All right. For anyone, don't even say it. I know I copied PewDiePie. But this one is about the Joker. Yeah. One of the most highly anticipated films of the year. One of the top films of the year. Actually, critics said it was outstanding. I guess the people who saw it the first week said it was outstanding, incredible. Now it's time for a random 21-year-old redhead in York, Pennsylvania to review it. First, of course, is going to be the non-spoiler review. So this, like 5 or 6 minutes, is going to be the non-spoiler review. And the next 2 or 3, spoiler filled. So, where do I start? All right, yeah, spoiler free. You guys ready? Yeah, I think you're ready. I see you guys out there. Wow, you guys look really good today. I appreciate you watching. I just want to let you know that. But so, spoiler-free review. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a 4.5 out of 10, maybe 5. The movie itself was all right. And the reason it gets a 4.5 is because the plot was just weird. It was too all over the place. It just didn't make sense. And I know before you say it, that's the Joker's thing. He doesn't make sense. But when it comes to a movie, you have to make some kind of sense. You can't just, like, show someone going crazy or someone already being crazy and be like, well, that's who he is. You have to give us some backstory of why he's like that. Yeah, it gave a little bit of a mental breakdown, but it's just things went too weird. There were things that were unnecessary in it. A lot of things felt like they just didn't add up, and they were not. They didn't work. But the reason I didn't give it a 1 or 2 is because Joaquin Phoenix is outstanding. He's the best part of the movie. He's fantastic. I also think another really underrated performance is his neighbor, the girl who plays his neighbor. So I think it's a very underrated performance, even though she has a smaller role in the movie. I think she's one of the biggest characters because there's only 4 characters that you really shine light on. The 4 characters you see a lot of are the Joker, obviously, his mother, Thomas Wayne, the neighbor, and actually his therapist. So you see 5 characters who really get some light, but the real story focuses solely on the Joker, with a few other supporting characters like the ones I mentioned, and then smaller characters other than that. But I think it started off really well. It started off... crap, this is the non-spoiler review. I just looked at the time. But this is actually going to be quicker than I thought. Non-spoiler review, 4.5 out of 10. They could have made it the best movie of the year. The person I saw it with, actually I saw it with 4 other people. The people I saw it with, very mixed reviews around. Everyone said it wasn't that good, but everyone agreed that it could have been better. Everyone who saw it definitely said a lot of it didn't make sense, the things they did with it. So I think all around I can definitely be solid in giving it a 4.5 out of 10. Alright guys, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, pause this, keep it on your screen. I know your laptop definitely won't shut down, or your phone definitely won't refresh. Go watch the movie right now. That's right, buy a ticket at this current... I'm serious, put your credit card in the system and buy a ticket right now. Alright, cool, you have? I'll wait. Yeah, a long movie, isn't it? But now that you're back, what do you think of it? Put it in the comments below. If you have seen it, honestly, put it in the comments below what you thought of it. Give it a little rating. Give it a spoiler-free review. Give your own little, give me like 2 sentences and then a rating. I will pin my favorite one, and I will pin the one who I think is the most accurate description of it. And once again, these are all opinions, but I will pin my favorite comment. So be sure to leave that, guys. Spoiler-free review. So it starts off with probably the most popular scene in the trailer, where he's spinning the sign. He gets knocked over. Someone busts him up, beats the hell out of him. They destroy his sign. Well, he goes back. It turns out he is an actor, kind of. He works in an agency. Not an agency. He works at this place where they just send him out to do things like kids shows, things like that. They revolve around people being clowns. They revolve around people like... They pretty much revolve around like people who have criminal backgrounds. They're giving them jobs to do. It's really cool. Well, one of the guys comes up to him and says, hey man, saw what happened out there. It's really, really messed up. Gives him a gun. Well, he's really reluctant at first, does not know what to do with it, but takes it anyways because, I mean, he's not going to turn this down. The guy was nice enough to give him his gun, so he's going to keep it, knowing he cannot have it on the job. So keep that in your mind, back of your head, stored it. There you go, it's there. Even though you've already seen the movie since you're watching the spoiler-free part. If you haven't seen it, get the hell out of here. No, I'm just kidding, don't do that. But, so some time goes on, some uneventful things, really not important. He meets the neighbor. He starts to like her a lot. They have an exchange in the hallway. A very weird exchange, but they do. It's very, very odd. And he's coming back from his job. He's coming back from his job and he's on the train, right? He's dressed up as a clown, and these three guys are tormenting this girl like really mean. They're three douchebags, suit coats, everything. They're doing their thing. Well, they're being a jerk, and he has a condition that makes him laugh like crazy and uncontrollable moments. He can't help it. It's just what he does. But it happens. Like, he cannot help it. So that draws attention to him. They come over, they start beating the crap out of him. Well, all of a sudden, you hear a gunshot, and the one guy hits the ground. Well, that's because the Joker had his gun, fires on someone else, and then the train stops, and one guy tries to run. Well, puts 4 shots in his back, and flees the scene. All of a sudden, so you get on the news, you see a bunch of people, you see all these like CNN type things, like Fox News. They're all like, "Wow, this guy's horrible," but you find out that Gotham, which is not on fire, it's going down. It's horribly destroyed. There's such a bad thing going on in Gotham. The people of Gotham are kind of considering him a hero because he killed some guys who were up in the upper class. They think lowly of everyone in Gotham. And so Thomas Wayne comes on, which I'm going to get into another subplot. His mother, the Joker's mother, worked for Thomas Wayne for 30 years. And she's been sending him letters daily saying, "Hey, help us out. We know you care about us. Please help us." Well, of course, he's a billionaire. He's not going to react to some random lady who worked for him for a while. He gets on the TV and he calls the thugs of the area clowns, which will end up being very important later on, but keeps going on. Just a lot of tension. The Joker ends up just things boil over for him. He's trying to get his acting career his comedy career started. He has a stand-up show that ends up going pretty decently. I think you can take decent out of that scenario. But a lot goes on between where he gets a call from his favorite talk show saying, "Hey, come on down. We'll have you on the show, talk to you, see what's going on." Well, he goes to a job that he has set up, and he's dancing around he is going to a children's hospital. Well, he's dancing around doing his clown thing, of course, and his gun falls out. And everyone takes notice because he's in a children's hospital and has a gun. Well, he's fired. Done. The job he truly loves to do is done. Over. At this point, he's been dropped by his therapist because fundings were cut. He's been dropped by his therapist because their fundings are cut, so he can't afford that. He has killed 3 people. He just gets fired from the job that he loves because the guy who gave him the gun also snitched on him and told him a lie. So things are going crazy. Well, he finds out that his mom decides, "Hey, can you send a letter for me? Can you put this letter in the mail to Thomas Wayne?" And he finds out that he's supposedly Thomas Wayne's son. Well, he doesn't take too kindly to this because his mom's been lying to him for years. He flips out. She goes and she has like a heart attack or something like that. I don't know what it was, but she has to go to the hospital, right? So she is now in the hospital, and he is trying to find out what the deal is with Thomas Wayne and him supposedly being Thomas Wayne's son. He shows up at the Wayne Manor, and he sees a kid there. And it's almost like the interaction from It with Pennywise and Georgie. It's weird. It's like a gravitation. Like, the kid gravitates to the Joker pretty fast. Luckily, there's a gate in between them, but we find out that's young Bruce Wayne. Yep. Your first Batman sighting in the Joker universe. But young Bruce Wayne And then Alfred comes out. I believe it to be Alfred. I don't know if it's true, but I believe it to be Alfred, who comes out and gets what's his name? Gets the Joker to leave the Wayne residence because he tells him his mom's crazy. There was never any relationship between the two of them. He's not his son. Well, he flips out. He goes off, and he tries to get medical records, which finds out it's true. He's not Thomas Wayne's son at all. His mom's crazy. She thought there was something between her and Thomas. She was found abusing him, found abusing her one son. She ended up adopting a child, I believe it was. So not only is the Joker not Thomas Wayne's son, but he's also adopted. He was tied to a radiator, treated like crap by his mother. It's a lot of crappy things, which leads him to kill his mother. In the hospital, he strangles her with a pillow. So some crazy stuff happens there. And then the two of his friends from his old clown job come to his house to see how he's doing because they heard about his mother dying. They heard he got fired. Like, a lot of stuff had happened. And he kills the guy named Randall who snitched on him and said he had been trying to buy a gun off him. Straight up murders him in cold blood in front of the other guy. And lets the other guy go because he was actually very nice to him. And this is just, you can see the snapping point, because he finds out that this neighbor that he's been thinking he's been having a relationship with, there's never been a thing. You see scenes throughout the movie of them doing things together. She walks out from his comedy act with him. They hang out. She comforts him when his mother's in the hospital, and none of that was true. He shows up in her apartment, sitting there, and she's like, "Hey, can you leave? I don't know you. Please leave." Like, which we don't see what happens. I think he killed her. I really do. I think he shot the lady or something like that. But you never see anything about that again. The lady's never seen it again. So that's why I say she's a very small role. But after this, he goes on his talk show with the guy, I think his name was Murray, which is pretty much the end of the movie. He goes on there. He does his clown thing. He's making everyone laugh. And they're kind of making fun of him a little bit, because the clip they show of him is where he's like on stage and he's uncontrollably laughing. So they're kind of making fun of him, and he puts two and two together. And he's going down this whole thing about how he admits to killing the kids, right? Like, straight up on air says, "Yeah, I killed them and I'm happy I did it." And starts talking, saying how horrible the upper people in Gotham are, and just goes off. Like, you have to watch the movie. I can't personally explain it. It was just so nuts. And pulls out a gun and boom, kills the guy, kills the Murray. I forget who plays him. I'm going to remember after I edit this video and stuff like that. But, like, kills the guy, cold blood, and gets arrested, of course. But then the final 2 or 3 minutes of the movie, you see him driving off in a cop car because he's been arrested, and you see Gotham on fire. Like, literally on fire. Riots have started, all kinds of crazy things, and he's reveling in it. Well, last second, boom! A car hits the police car, and kills the 2 officers that were taking him. It was an ambulance that was hijacked by other people in clown masks who have now rallied behind the Joker. And one of the final scenes you see is someone killing Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne. And the final scene of the movie is him laughing his head off in an insane asylum. And the therapist going, "What's so funny?" And you see Bruce Wayne standing by himself with his parents on the ground. He says, "You wouldn't understand." And he just walks up. Why did I say Wally? Don't put that in the comments. Please do not mention that in the comments. I recorded 10 minutes and I'm not going back and redoing this. But he just walks off. You can see blood on his footsteps. Now, I'm really upset because I Googled that there was if there was a post-credit scene, and it said there wasn't, and I missed the post-credit scene for this movie. So I'm pissed off about that. So I don't know, so I want you guys to send me a link in the comments and also tell me what happened. But that's my in-depth review on The Joker. I thought it was good. I really, really did think it was a good movie. It just was not great like it was hyped up to be. There were a lot of mental health stigmas. It made everyone who has mental health seem like they're violent. It's just, really, it could have been much better. Honestly, this is taking nothing away from Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's amazing. I think he was outstanding as Joker. I think they should keep giving him movies, but you need to rewrite it and make it better. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. Go ahead and comment down below what you thought of the movie and also what your favorite DC Universe movie has been. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you have, share this with your friends so they can see the video too. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.